Blog Talk Radio.
We're proud to be homegrown, kicking it back, road trucks and God and beer. Oh, hail, hail, we hail tradition, we jack it up, that's our addition. My bad, we didn't ask permission. You might not get it, but we hope you dig it.
Good evening. Cherish Lee is my guest tonight. Cherish, are you there on the phone with me?
Hi, my dear. How's it going?
Super. I knew you were there and the tune was jamming, so I better shut that down so I could talk to you for a minute. We can get back to that.
Oh,
thanks for coming on.
Totally fine.
Thanks for coming on. I love that
Thanks
song.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you, dear. The Humagoo Hour is looking a little prettier tonight, so I really appreciate that. So,
oh, this is cool. I love the name of your show.
Thanks. You know, a lot of people may not get that one. That's just a nickname. The Magoo comes back from high school, and a couple years ago I had to do a mad science. I went around and demonstrated science experiments to kids, and I had to come up with a name. And I love the Who, and I was talking to my sister, and I had to be Professor somebody, and I'm like, Who Magoo? And that's it. That's how Who Magoo came to be. And I'm telling my brother. Thank you. I appreciate that. Again, Cherish Lee is a fabulous guest tonight. Cherish, what a background. What a life. Tell us a little bit about yourself, your family, and everything about that.
Oh, well, for those who are big into TV land, the show Dallas, Who Shot JR and all that, my mom played Lucy Ewing.
Yes.
And her name is Charlene Tilton, and she the show aired for 14 years, and she was on it for 11 of the 14, which is huge. What a crazy accomplishment. So, and the Who Shot JR, no television show has ever surpassed the numbers of that show, the amount of viewers. So, pretty incredible. And then my dad did the song Looking for Love in All the Wrong Places and Cherokee Fiddle, along with so many other great ones, but those two in particular for the movie Urban Cowboy. And the two of them back in the day were like the Brad Jelena. They were the hot number one couple for, they had a kind of a quick whirlwind marriage, but anyways, I came out of that, and there you have it.
Well, then that was just a beautiful marriage there then. But yeah, I had to take a look back at Dallas. I do remember all that. I think that was like the last season when somebody got shot, and then or the last show, and they had to wait till the next year and announce that. And yeah, that was big stuff back in the day.
They had actually filmed different endings. So even the cast members didn't know who actually had shot him, and they had written different scenarios where each cast member had shot JR. So anyways, it was crazy.
Great. And I love what you call your dad. What do you call him? Papa Bear or something like that?
Papa Bear, yeah.
Papa Bear, that's right. Doing just all the background and getting ready for the show. Yeah, nice. Now, let's talk about what you got going. Love that song, Ain't Your Grandma's Country Song, and you got that new Tequila Cowgirl coming out and your video. Tell us about your video. I was just watching that before the show. That is just cool. It's you rocking in the kitchen and doing all that fun stuff, huh?
Thanks. Yeah. Well, the album itself it's a self-titled, or it's the title track off the album Tequila Cowgirl. And I was like, well, we have to do a video, and it was kind of crazy to film it because I felt like so much was trying to keep us from doing it the day that we shot at the farm there. But we had a good time. For the very first shot of the music video, the director, Kevin Deems, was like, okay, you're riding in this area and it's going to be gorgeous and all. It'll be a drone shot. And anyway, so I'm on the horse and he starts up the drone, and that horse was like, nope, and took off and just ran through the thicket. And there was no safe place to fall off, so I just kind of hunkered down, folding my head into the horse's neck, hoping that it wouldn't knock itself out because, the trees were thick and there were branches everywhere. And so we both got foot-cacked pretty good. But, and so the drone was somewhere up in the heavens, and nobody was paying attention to the expensive piece of equipment. They were like, oh, gosh, is she going to be okay? So, but we...
At that part, where's our star going with our horse,
Yeah. So the horse's name was Radish. Good old Radish.
Very nice, nice. Now, it's going to be an album, right? You got like 6-7 songs. It's not going to be an EP. That'll be released in January, and the single is out now. We'll be hearing that in a second.
Yeah, the album itself is called Tequila Cowgirl, and I'm actually recording another song to go on the album. So that will make 8 songs total. And it wasn't quite an EP. It wasn't quite a technical full album, but I call it an album, so it's an album.
I love albums.
It's an odd number, but
school.
So there will be 8 songs released in January.
Nice. Now, the ones that I got today, we have, again, Ain't Your Grandma's Country Song, Tequila Cowgirl, one called Scream, Ones We Leave Behind, Wyatt Song, and One Pillow Over is the ones that I have here that we'll be hearing tonight.
And it's actually Ones You Leave Behind. For some reason, it's like I have to actually look at. No, it's not your fault. There's some sort of technical something on the MP3 that I'm sending out where it's titled differently. So, but when you see it actually up there on Spotify and all that, it is the Ones You Leave Behind. But yeah, it's a really cool story on how this album came to be. It's defying all of the odds of where the music business is right now, and the album is definitely, a window of the last couple years of my life, and so it's a very intimate album. Of course, this Ain't Your Grandma's Country Song is, just a super fun one that's on there, but it pays homage to the old school country music as well as the new and the evolution of that, and but you've got Ones You Leave Behind, which is about, losing my brother. Scream is about, there was just so much going on in my life at the time, and it's kind of one of those things where, it's almost like too much where tears don't do it justice, so you just have to, like, let loose and scream. And I always say every time I perform this song, I said, you can cry, you can scream, but you're not allowed to give up. So there's that, and Sweet Sweet is about my husband, and Wyatt Song is about my son, and it's a cool thing.
Who's singing in One Pillow Over with you? Who is that other person in that song?
Oh my gosh, there is a group in Texas called Mike and the Moon Pies, and I love them so much. They're a great band, and Mr. Mike himself is doing the duet with me, so I was honored to have him be a part of this.
Yeah. Now, on Tequila Cowgirl, tell us about that story. I love the the story behind this lady, that she's got some some morals, and she wants to hang out and have some fun, but not too much fun. She's a fan of Jesus and all that good stuff, and some tequila.
Yeah, it was I lived in Texas on a ranch, and I basically got to learn how to work this ranch. And I was going back and forth quite a bit from Texas to Nashville, and made the decision to move here in Nashville, where I am now. And while it was the best decision I've ever made in my entire life, I met my husband here, we got married, had our baby, and I recorded an album and shot a music video in Nashville. I mean, these are dreams come true. And but I loved the ranch. And so part of my heart was, really broken leaving it, but it was kind of the sliding door. You make a decision and you go one way. Well, the sliding door is, well, what would it have been if I would have stayed? So that's Tequila Cowgirl.
Nice. Now, being in Nashville, do you find it very busy, should I say? Is it real stuffy, or is it real easy just to fit in, find nice people where you go, and what is it like in Nashville?
Gosh. Okay, so where do you live, Tom?
I'm in Milwaukee area. In Milwaukee,
oh, okay,
Milwaukee,
awesome.
Wisconsin. I'm a cheesehead,
okay.
Peckerland.
I actually used to have a cheesehead, and in one of my moves, I didn't take it with me, so I donated it to Goodwill.
I love it. A cheesehead in Goodwill. Some bear fan got it for dartboard or something.
Exactly. But we used to wear it during charades and stuff.
Yeah.
No, Nashville is fantastic. It probably houses some of the nicest people I've ever met in my life. And we have this running joke between my mom and I that we've only heard two people honk. One has been her and one has been me. So, but no, it's, these people have been so incredible and gracious and have just welcomed me with open arms. And, the fact that I've sat down and written with these brilliant people, and they're like, hey, you've got to write with so-and-so. And I'm honored that people, love to share their craft with me and, pass along my name to other writers, and it just continues. So I love it.
Nice.
It's a growing city. It's growing so fast. It's crazy. But yeah.
Yeah, I got some music friends that my buddy Rudy Z lives there right now, and another friend was out there. And the one thing she got involved is the animals. That's one thing I wanted to chat with you about, your heart for animals and taking care of them, and the shelters, and the humanitarian in you. And that's a beautiful thing.
Well, what does she do?
She's a songwriter
what does your friend do
too.
Out here?
Yeah, my buddy Rudy Z, he's a bass player, and he lives out there with his wife Terry, and he's been out there about a year now. And my friends, everybody else I play on my show are all Milwaukee musicians. They play in Summerfest, Gabriel Sanchez. Everybody, that's how this whole thing is just a creation of my friends. I used to do college radio, and I always thought, why can't I find a way to present them online? And this is what I've been doing. And then Michael got a hold of me from MTS, and that's how I found you guys. So this is truly a homegrown project in my basement, just peddling the music because I love music since I was 3 years old, and that's all I've been doing. And I'm probably going to top 5,000 listeners in like almost a year. Probably pretty close almost tonight. So how about that?
Good for you. Congratulations. What a cool accomplishment. And it's neat, like you said, the homegrown thing. That is very much this album, and I'll get back to the other thing in just a moment because it is super important to me. But I was tied up in contracts for a very long time. And when I was 9 months pregnant, I got the free and clear, and I was no longer tied down. And I remember the day I was sitting on the porch swing with my husband. I was like, if I don't go into labor right now, I would be shocked. And I went into labor 24 hours later, which was hilarious. But so when my son turned 2.5 months, because I'd been tied up in these contracts, I hadn't been working. So there wasn't a lot of like my own, finances that were available. And So respectfully to my family and being a new mom, I was like, I've got $1,500 to make an album. And everybody